My name's Jonathan Mark. I'm a resident of Warwick. I've been living there since, I built my house in 1985. We bought some land there in 1982. Real cheap because there was no real structures on it, and we built it up. And my daughter was born there. Grew up in Brooklyn, New York, so I have it's a natural appreciation for nature because I felt like I was an alien in the city and looking for what life was about. And a lot of my travels through nature was teaching me about listening, being part of one, not being so egocentric and thinking and competitive, but seeing how the harmony and the nature are cooperative. And that's how we have to represent. We have to be more a part of nature rather than try to rule it. I didn't know that at first. They just gave me a phone call and asked me if I wanted to do a survey. And you know how you get phone calls for surveys all the time? So I thought it was one of those surveys when they first called. So he introduced himself. He said he's with the Tennessee Gas Pipeline Company and they wanted a survey. And I says, well, I'm not really interested in a survey for gas pipelines. I told him that I support distributed energy production that's more renewable. And so I'm not interested in just transporting fossil fuels, and that was pretty much it. And I told them to go to my website, and I told them to look it up and don't bother me anymore. and they didn't. And after a while, somebody told me that they posted the route of the pipeline on the website nofracgasinmass.org, and I went there and looked at the map for Warwick, and it was going right through my land. I just couldn't believe it, just seeing it on the map, and it's there. And as you said, it made me very suspicious of what in the world they were doing. They want to cut through the woods, have no trees on it, for about 50-foot wide area. Some areas will be 100 feet wide. And they're going to be burying the pipe, and they'll be coming through with a bulldozer. My friend Ruth said, because she heard that, I was being affected by it directly, she said, well, this is your opportunity to speak out about it. If you want to be public relations, to choose this section of Massachusetts for a pipeline, can you guarantee that it'll never leak? Can you guarantee that there won't be a tree falling on it in an accident? This is like more precious to me than the gas that you're providing to these companies, as well as it adding to more of the global warming issue, and doesn't resolve that. So why don't you keep it where the pipes are already, and rather than going through virgin forests? And I think it would destroy our community, and that's why I'm so affected by it. I think I would move if they did that, and so at a loss. And I mentioned this to the Energy Secretary, Mr. Sullivan, and I complained to the Attorney General's office that this is a fraudulent proposal. It has nothing to do with public interest, and that they're threatening to go to the Department of Public Utilities in Massachusetts to come to my land without my permission. I'm hoping that the state stands strong and not give them that permission. But my greatest concern of the bulldozing through, because the guy that called me up later, he was trying to convince me how it'd be nice to have a nature trail, and I could think of it that way. But the worst thing would be the smell and the water being affected by this toxic fossil fuel that's pressurized and has to remain. And then, are they going to clean it up after they're done with the fracked gas? It's going to be there. I feel like gifted by living around state forests, and I never expected this sort of threat that would happen, because it's not just my land, it's really the Commonwealth's land, and that's one of our greatest contributions for the atmosphere, is having all these trees and just life being able to recycle itself. That's the best part of the proposal of the pipeline, is that it's like a snake weaving through our communities, and you get to meet all these people that are affected by it, that are mind blown, and then you realize that there is a community here, and the only way they could do it would be through eminent domain, and what would that do to us and our community?